Picky eating. Man, it's a challenge we are all way too familiar with, isn't it? I mean, whether it's a little kid who just will not touch broccoli, or maybe even an adult who can't stand the thought of mushrooms, there's actually a real science behind why we fear new foods. And in this explainer, we're going to break that science down and give you a super practical guide to get past it. I'm pretty sure you have. We all have that one friend or a family member or, let's be real, sometimes we see one in the mirror. And hey, it is not just a kid thing at all. So many adults carry these exact same preferences or even fears with them for their entire lives. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are definitely in the right place. Because there's a real scientific reason for this. It actually has a name, food neophobia. Neo for new and phobia for fear, you get it. This is a completely natural, almost instinct-level resistance to trying new stuff. And that, right there, is the key. It is not some kind of character flaw. It's a super common human trait that we can absolutely learn to work with. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to understand why this fear is totally normal. Then we'll dive into the real solutions, harnessing the incredible power of patience using what I call the social secret and learning how to make food fun. And then at the end, we'll pull it all together into your very own winning strategy. Sound good? Let's do it. Right, so why is this fear of new food so normal? Well, like we just said with food neophobia, it's basically a built-in safety feature from our evolutionary past. Think about it. It was a survival instinct to avoid eating some new, random plant that could be poisonous. But, in our modern world, that instinct can kind of get in the way. So now that we get the why, let's jump into the solutions. Okay, so our first and honestly most powerful tool is simply patience. This isn't about some quick fix. It's all about a consistent, gentle approach that, as you're about to see, really, really works. And the absolute number one non-negotiable rule within this strategy is repeated exposure. Just think about it. It's like learning a new skill or even making a new friend. Getting familiar with food just takes time and, you guessed it, repetition. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this number. Research shows it can take anywhere from 8 to 15, yeah, you heard me right, 8 to 15 times of trying a new food before we even start to accept it, let alone like it. This is not a one-and-done kind of deal. Persistence is absolutely everything here. And hey, this isn't just a guess. The science backs it up completely. A major study back in 2003 found this exact thing. After just 8 to 10 small daily tastes of a new vegetable, kids' acceptance for it just skyrocketed. It's a perfect illustration of how the brain needs time to overwrite that initial, whoa, danger, new food signal. Okay, on to our next tool, and this one is all about our environment. I like to call it the social secret. We're social creatures, right? That applies even to what's on our plates. A huge part of how we learn what's safe and what's delicious comes from just watching the people around us. So how do we use this? It's 2 simple steps. First, modeling. If you want someone to try something, you gotta eat it yourself. And, this is important, genuinely enjoy it. Show them it's good. And second, use positive feedback. When they do take that brave little bite, offer praise. It is not about bribing, it's about rewarding the courageous act of just trying something new. And this point is so crucial. Just look at the difference here. On the right side, you've got all this pressure and negativity. No dessert if you don't eat your peas. That just turns food into a punishment and creates this big power struggle. But look at the left side. That's positive reinforcement. A simple, hey, that was so cool you gave that a try, makes the act of trying the victory no matter what the outcome was. All right, our third strategy is all about sensory engagement. The best way to think about it is like making friends with the food before you even think about eating it. The more familiar it feels and smells and looks, the less intimidating it's going to be. This is where you get to be creative. Encourage kids, or hey, even yourself, to touch the food, smell it, just look at it, all with zero pressure to actually eat it. Cut carrots into little star shapes, serve broccoli with a favorite dip. The research is so clear on this. This kind of sensory learning dramatically increases the willingness to finally take that first bite. Okay, wow, we've covered a lot. So let's bring it all together right now into a simple, actionable strategy. This is your toolkit for turning that food fear into food fun. Here it is, all in one simple table. For patience, your key action is to offer that food 8 to 15 times. For social, your action is to model enjoyment and praise the attempt. And for sensory, your action is to make it look fun and build that familiarity. See how these three work together? It's a beautiful thing. And to wrap this all up, just remember these golden rules. Combine the strategies. That's where the real magic happens. Never, ever, ever force someone to eat. That just builds up all these negative feelings about food. Stay positive, stay patient. And remember, all of this stuff applies to adults too. It is never too late to expand your own palate. So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you're armed with all this knowledge, what new food is on your menu this week? For your family or maybe just for you? There is a whole world of amazing flavor out there. Go get tasting.